Breaking news in the Bronx. This is Bronx Fan Central.
New York Yankees fan, pay close attention to this. Have you ever stopped to think about what really happens in the hallways of Yankee Stadium when the team decides to close a trade in the middle of the season? You look at the field, see a new pitcher coming out of the bullpen, and think it was just a simple swap. But the reality you need to understand is that modern baseball is a high-risk financial chessboard. Smash the like button if you agree that the Bronx fan base deserves much more respect, because you all know very well that we don't accept half-truths. When you see names like Kyle Carr and Brock Selvage packing their bags to leave our organization in exchange for Jojo Romero, you have to ask yourself, who really won this deal? You realize that the hole in our roster was so obvious that the price to fix it could have been catastrophic, but the front office made a very specific bet. And that's exactly what you and I are going to talk about right now. I'll be honest, I always get a little nervous when I see our front office moving our young pieces. We've seen this movie before, right? But for me, the philosophy here in the Bronx has to be only one thing: World Series or failure. I don't have patience for excuses. I look at our current roster, I see the championship window open with our main hitters in their prime, and I expect the front office to do whatever it takes to stop the bleeding. We desperately needed a reliable arm for the bullpen. When I analyze this trade, I feel that even though it hurts to lose talent from the farm system, we simply could not keep giving up runs in the late innings. I would rather see the team be aggressive in the market than hug minor league prospects while the season goes down the drain. We are the New York Yankees. We don't celebrate potential, we celebrate trophies. And from my realistic point of view, sacrificing the distant future to secure the present is the only acceptable path when you wear the pinstripes. And look, the numbers show exactly what the St. Louis Cardinals are doing on their side of the deal. Their front office operated with surgical precision for their situation. In today's MLB market, relief pitchers are extremely volatile assets. Recent history proves that the value of a reliever can be sky-high one month and collapse the following season. The Cardinals understood that Romero was at the peak of his market value. By selling high, they move a piece that doesn't fit their current financial timeline, since the franchise is clearly going through a rebuild, a full reconstruction. In return, they acquire the famous years of control. And what does that mean in practice? It means they secure control over the contracts of young players like Carr and Selvage for several years, paying the league minimum salary defined by MLB rules. Yankees fan, leave your opinion in the comments, because the St. Louis model is exactly this. Trade short-term pieces for long-term financial flexibility and youth. Now, coming back to our side of the counter, I need to be very honest about how I see the cost of this operation. I've criticized this front office many times, but here I have to recognize the practical side of things. We paid what the market calls prospect capital. But what relieves me is that we were not stripped bare. I looked at the list of players sent away, and, thankfully, we did not have to give up any of our top 5 prospects. We used the depth of our minor league system as currency, and for me, that is the true purpose of having a strong farm system. Not for every player to reach Yankee Stadium, but so we can buy the missing pieces for the big league team without mortgaging our entire future all at once. I will always defend the smart use of secondary prospects to solve urgent problems. The financial engineering behind this trade reveals meticulous planning by the organization. The facts show that the front office solved an immediate bullpen problem while keeping the payroll strictly balanced. In baseball, entering the free agent market in the middle of the season to sign veterans usually means taking on expensive, long, toxic contracts that limit a team's flexibility for years. The strategy executed in this trade avoided exactly that scenario. The organization used the accumulated value of the farm system to acquire a player at his real market value, without blowing past the luxury tax threshold and without compromising the budget reserved for crucial contract extensions the franchise will need to make at the end of the year. It is an operation that fixes a tactical weakness on the field through fiscal responsibility behind the scenes. At the end of the day, my evaluation of all this is very straightforward. We had a hole in the boat, water was coming in, and we needed an immediate repair. I'm not going to lose sleep crying over prospects when our current mission is to win baseball games in October. I know the pressure of playing in the Bronx destroys many players, and only time will tell if the arm we brought in will handle the weight of this jersey when the stadium is packed and the game is on the line in the fall. But I support the aggressive mentality. We have no margin for error. I want to see attitude from this front office, and I believe that using prospect capital surgically, without destroying our elite prospects, and without tying up the payroll with ridiculous contracts, is a sign that someone inside the organization finally understands the urgency of our clock. We are here to demand excellence, and demanding excellence means approving calculated risks when they favor immediate wins. The big question now is for you. Do you trust that this financial engineering and this trade will be the difference our bullpen needed to hold the important games that are coming? Do you think the front office sold our young players for the right price? Or are you afraid that one of those prospects could become a nightmare playing against us in the future? Baseball is built on risks, but you know that here in the Bronx, the risk has to be worth a World Series ring, or it was all for nothing. If you are a New York Yankees fan, make sure to subscribe to Bronx Fan Central. I want to see you participating actively because the season is long, but our patience is not. Keep an eye on the next games, because the pressure on the mound just increased, and we will be here analyzing every pitch. See you next time.